Hello, my lovelies. Elsie here with some readings this week. Yeah, we have to tie up the rest of the year, right? This is all going to be energy for this week. I am doing a reading. The reading is about what you should be leaving in 2022 and what you are going to move toward in 2023. And then we're going to find out how to get there. We're going to build a bridge, right? So let's start with you, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, my Taurus friends. I am your Taurus sister. It's my sun sign. And if you have Taurus, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter, this may resonate with you. All right. What are you supposed to be leaving in the past, Taurus? What are you leaving in 2022? The energy of Taurus. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What is Taurus supposed to leave in 2022? Happy, happy. I think that 2022 for some of you was the year that you finally figured out who you are, the key to who you are. I feel like you leave 2022 with happiness in your heart, that you have either figured something out or that you've got the key to something. We've got two balloons that are the color of the sacral chakra. We've got one that is of the third eye and one is that of the crown chakra is what I want to say. So I feel like in 2022 that you had a realization of many things. I think 2022 was the year of you working on self is what I want to say, because we do have card number 26 and that is an 8. That's the number of the self or the universe peeking in on you to make sure everything's okay. So I think that 2022 was your year of learning. I'd say the bulk of your learning is what I want to say, but of course we never stop being happy. But I think the lessons that you learned in 2022 are lessons that you should leave there, because some of them weren't all that kind to you, right? Not all that kind. Yeah. So you got happy in 2022 is what I want to say, Taurus, that you learned about the self. You learned that you can receive downloads, that your third eye is open, and that you have what it takes to move forward in any situation. In the future, we have changes in the wind. A change is in the wind is what it says. So I feel like this is the place where you realize it's the yellow, so it could be solar plexus, could be sacral chakra, but I feel like there's a lot of lessons nonetheless here that you've learned in 2022. It was a year of learning for you, Taurus. And because of that, I feel like there is going to be some things coming up for you that are going to be, you know what? I really feel like there's still something that you don't see coming that's going to happen over this week is what I want to say. A change in the wind. It's card number 12, which tells me December. So it still could be over this week, right? This reading is timeless. So whenever you come upon it, but it could be this month. Yeah. That you're trying to step forward around a bunch of change, amidst a bunch of change. We've got by the book underneath. All right. Let's take a look at some tea leaves. Let's look at some tea leaves. All right. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter here. Why you're leaving these lessons. I feel that the major bulk of the lessons that you learned this year, I feel, Taurus, are things that you're not going to have to learn over again, but you're just going to have to keep moving with that energy is what I say. But I feel like 2022 for a lot of you was the year that you became happy. We've got trouble and accusations. And then we have the wheel, which is indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. Yeah, I think these are things that you really overcame, if I'm being honest. Troubles, accusations, and, being indecisive. I feel like these are some of the lessons that you learned in 2022. These lessons, I feel, are ones that you will not have to learn over again. allowing, keeping your wheel in alignment rather than allowing your life to ramble. So in other words, that you learned you have to live your life rather than your life living you. You can't just follow along and hope that everything works out. It takes a lot of work. You got to get up and do it. You got to manifest it. You got to live as though you already have it. I feel like it's this frying pan. It feels like the heat was turned up on you, and that's why you had to figure out what you were going to do. But I feel as though these are things that you probably overcame in 2022 is what I want to say. And I feel like going forward here that you can leave those things in the past because you've learned those lessons. Tell me what's coming up in the future here for Taurus. Tell me what the change is that's coming up. Change in the wind. Change in the wind. We have an increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. There we go. You learned the lessons. Good for you. And we have the seahorse, family matters. Okay. So there could be something changing within your family, whether you are, maybe someone is having a baby, maybe someone's adding to the family, an increase in material wealth. It could be family matters that are increasing your material wealth. So for some of you, you could be receiving an inheritance. I think the change in the wind is something that you're going to be far more open to now. You're going to be far more open in 2023. I have been saying this to a lot of people because it really is impressed upon me that I feel 2023 is the breakout year. Look, we've been through a lot of stuff as a humanity, all 7 or 8 billion people of us. I don't know how many they're on the earth now, but as a whole collective, we have been through enough. And 2023 is going to be the year that we kind of get it all together. Changes in the wind. We're going to accept the changes that things that changed us in 2022. I believe we're taking those lessons into 2023 and we're using them as fuel, is what I want to say. We're using them as fuel, right? We're increasing material wealth here, and we are going to have an increase in growth in family matters, spiritual things in family matters here. Let's look at the bottom. We have guaranteed success. Wow. Wowzers. Yeah. And then we have June. So something special might be coming up in June. June, of course, is the 6th month. So number 6 could mean something to you. Or you could have a birthday in June. Maybe you know somebody who does. All right. So what are we going to do here? What's the bridge? How are you bridging 2022 with 2023? How are you getting there? Let's get some advice here for Taurus. Through confession, releasing a secret, pursuing virtue through honesty, acceptance, interesting, and self-limiting beliefs. Someone here has accepted that they did have self-limiting beliefs, and it is time to stop that. Negative thoughts were creating roadblocks for you, and that's the reason that you're able to move forward, because you have had a realization in being happy and having the key and the downloads you're getting. And, as you grow in 2022, I think you've realized that you really did have self-limiting beliefs. And what's that? And I talk about it all the time. And if we're talking about love, Taurus, I feel like you're the one putting the label on somebody and treating them as though they are that label, whether that be a soulmate or a twin flame. For some of you, you have picked out a false flame or a false soulmate, and you're making yourself believe that this is what you want because you won't turn back, because you're a fixed sign. Because once you make a decision, it's hard for you to realize or have acceptance of what it actually is when it does show itself to you. It says here, accept the past and current situations, work through issues gracefully. So I think that's what you're doing, crowning the reading here. I think that's what you're doing right now. You're accepting things you cannot change. Because there's no point in dying on that hill, right, Taurus? There's no point in dying on that hill. So I think the confession is to self, if I'm going to be honest here. Releasing a secret, pursuing virtue through honesty. I feel like you're really taking a look at yourself and being really honest with yourself. And that's how we're going to get here to changes in the wind. I think that you are going to allow the change, allow the material increase. Whatever was blocking you, your self-limiting beliefs, I believe, are what have been blocking you from the happiness that you want, happiness for your family, the increase in material wealth. I feel like you have had a breakthrough, is what I want to say. You've had a breakthrough, and there's now time for balance. You were juggling too many things, or you had too many things on the go. And this is a terrible epidemic in our society, Taurus, right? The terrible epidemic is that people think that there's more things. It's, how can I say, it's FOMO, right? It's fear of missing out. Yes. So I feel like we're all on our phones trying to chase the rainbow, chase the money, chase the whatever it is that's on our phone. When we're in a group of people, your phone should be in your bag. Your phone shouldn't even be out. Like, I'm just saying, I feel like you realize this over a period of time here, that you realize that you were missing out, or you had a fear of missing out. It's like you didn't care if you were in this moment with this person and having this great conversation. You didn't care about that. You were on your phone, or you were thinking about the future or what's coming up, and that's a fear of missing out, right? You think that there's better things coming, and so you ignore the present moment. All right. Tell me more about how Taurus is going to get to 2023 here. Confession, acceptance, and self-limiting beliefs. I love it. Love it, love it. Got the Two of Swords. It's the decision. The decision to make the confession about how much you're in love with someone, I believe. Ten of Cups. Acceptance. Accepting the past and current situations. It also could be that you're accepting the past and current situations in family matters, right? Because the Ten of Cups does indicate family. And that there might be some of you who are making decisions regarding your livelihood, regarding love in the family, regarding the family in general, that there's been an acceptance that you had a self-limiting belief. And it was toxic. It was holding you back. It was blocking you, right? It was stopping you from saying what you wanted to say. It was stopping you from opening your heart. It was stopping the downloads. Yeah, it was blocking. It was blocking. Look at that. Yeah. That one right there. That's the sacral chakra we were talking about, right? I feel like that you were blocked with fear, or you're blocking moving forward because of self-limiting beliefs. And understand, it could be beliefs you had about yourself or about another person. This could be that you had a limiting belief about someone else, that maybe that you weren't good enough for them, that they didn't like you. But I also feel that the devil's involved here, which tells me that there's doubt, that you had doubt in your heart and in your mind, that you weren't speaking from the heart. Negative thoughts creating roadblocks in your life. And there's the negative thoughts, right? I feel like the devil energy was the fear, feeling not enough. And I feel like that's what you're leaving in 2022. The bridge is the realization, I feel. The realization that you can do what you want to do. It doesn't have to be any one certain way. And that tends to be the ideas of a fixed sign, right? Unless you have a lot of really flexible energy. If you have Taurus, no matter where it comes up, it can render you inflexible, for sure. We have the Emperor, we have the Nine of Cups, and we have the Moon in reverse. So yes, there's the reveal here, right? There's a reveal of the Moon in reverse, revealing all the things that you were scared of. I think that what you decided to do is take a deep dive, and that's why you're happy. That you decided to take a deep dive into this devil energy and say, look, if I can wrangle me, I can wrangle the devil. There's no big deal here, right? It feels like something that you're ready to do. The Moon in the reverse tells me that it's kind of like you're addressing all the fears that were under the surface, Taurus. And that's what you're leaving in 2022. I feel the bridge is the self-realization, the acceptance of what happened in the past, and that you don't have to go back there to get it. That if it's meant for you, it'll never pass you by, and you will end up with the Ten of Cups. I'm not saying that the Ten of Cups is yours in terms of love or family, but I'm saying that the acceptance of that you had a self-limiting belief and that you were the one blocking you, that it wasn't the person not texting you, wasn't the person who won't call you, wasn't the person who did you wrong. It was actually you. You know, when there's things going wrong in our lives, we should always be looking at us. Yeah, what are we doing to hold it off, right? We've got Temperance in reverse. So maybe you just weren't feeling like you could do it. You didn't have balance. You didn't feel like you could move forward. But I feel like the bridge here is telling me that going into 2022, and it's amazing, y'all, how many things can change in 4 or 5 days, right? We're Monday right now, and New Year's Eve is on Saturday. We've got a new day coming, or a new year coming on Sunday. And I feel like it's really how we can change our minds can really pick up the pace of who we are and what we're doing. And how we're going to get there. How are we going to get to the changes that are coming up? I feel like as you get to the changes in the wind, I feel like you are more accepting of change. Just want to look at this really close here. The leaves are blowing away. They're blowing away from the north to the south. For some of you, you could be moving to the south. That could be the change. Beast of burden. I feel like you've been the beast of burden in 2022. It's like you've been carrying it all, carrying all of it, and it's time to let it go. And I think that when you do, that's when you release that block. So the Emperor is making a decision here. So this Emperor could be you, could be somebody else. Take it as it resonates, right? There's a general reading. We have the Emperor here, who is Aries, but can be really any of the kings, because he is all the kings, right? He has all the energy and the messages, the learnings, the teachings of all the kings. I feel like that you have decided to be happy. And I think that's why Happy is here. And I think that's why the Ten of Cups is here. I think you have decided that it is coming for you, and you're going to allow it to come for you regardless of how you feel about it, no matter if you're scared or not. I think that you're going to allow anything that's in the darkness to come to the surface, and you're going to make a decision that you're going to face it face on. Yeah, right in the face. You're gonna look at the devil in the eyes and say, get out of the way. I got things to do. Get in here, 2023. We got shit to do. All right. Interesting. There is a deep sadness, yeah. I feel like 2022 was the year that you got the bird's eye view, Taurus, is what I'm going to say. That you really, the Tower is very different than it is in the tarot. It's card number 19. Of course, it could be about a new beginning, but I think for you, Taurus, it's about a new way of looking at things. Because when you get to the top of the tower, the view is very different than when you're on the ground. You can't see everything on the ground. And I feel like you had a bird's eye view of sadness this year. Really deep, heartfelt sadness. I feel as though you're trying to have a realization or think about, or you want to know why things happened the way they did, why it was such a deep sadness that you had to carry for such a long time. And I think it was because you were scared of the tower. You were scared of getting the bird's eye view to see what was really going on. That's what I feel. And these two are sixes, by the way. We have the Six of Clubs, which is the Six of Wands, and the Six of Swords, which is the Six of Spades. I feel like you are moving on from the sadness, and I feel like the sadness was there to bring you to victory, is what I want to say. It was there to make you strong. It was there to show you that you had self-limiting beliefs, and that there was a block here that was related to the ego, or related to being in a stuck energy. We've got Capricorn energy here, but maybe it was being stuck in your own energy that was making you sad. And I feel like once you got the bird's eye view here, that it's time for you to move forward into the future here. We are going to go into the extended. If you'd like to come there with me, we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on here. There is love in the future. We do have somebody who wants to pair up with you for life. That's what swans do. They pair for life. And it's somebody who's been watching you or looking you over really closely. They are someone who has been looking at you very closely. Whether you are the feminine or the masculine, this could be your feminine, or maybe you are the feminine. But I feel like there is some things that you're cutting out before we go into 2023. Right. Charlie just said we just need to find out what's bridging this energy here. I agree. We've got the Six of Wands. So it's courage, right? It's courage to be seen, that you are, it's courage to see, I feel, right? The Tower here, it feels like that you either saw something that made you sad, or that you had a bird's eye view of something that was going on that you didn't realize. But I feel like mostly you've had a realization that you are loved because this person's being adored. They're being adored because they're kind and loving, and people are cheering them on. I feel that the realization going into 2023 is that you're the shit. Yeah, that you know that people adore you. And I feel like you are overcoming sadness after looking at a situation from a very much a bird's eye view. Now you know what you've done wrong. You know where the blockages were and how to remove them because the moon is here in reverse. We're going to go into the extended. We're going to talk about happy. We're going to talk about the lessons that you learned in the past. And then we're going to talk about what's coming up in the future. We haven't even gotten into that yet. We're a little bit low, or a little bit, the time has gone by pretty quick here. So we're going to talk about this material wealth, an increase in material wealth or spiritual growth, one of the two, and it has to do with family matters. So I don't know if that's you entering someone else's family, because the winds of change are here. So your family is about to change, I feel, and so is your material wealth. And Taurus, if you want to come into the extended, I will do that for you. We've got the self-limiting beliefs. We're really going to look into that so you know where you're at and what not to do and how to avoid this devil energy, or how not to get stuck in it anyway. We can't really avoid it because it is major arcana. It comes at us and we can choose to pop a tent and live there, or we can just, feel bad for ourselves for a couple of days and then keep moving forward. So we're going to talk about that. And this 10 of Cups is curious. There's an acceptance about the 10 of Cups, that there is an acceptance of it's coming. I know it will come. If it's meant for me, it'll never pass me by. There's a decision made about a confession. Somebody is making a confession to you, or you are making a confession to someone else. Someone's releasing a secret. And that's the reason for the extended. I want to know what the secret is and how this secret is bridging you to 2022. Is this connected to something that's coming up in 2022? I feel like it's connected to love, to be honest. I feel like it's connected to somebody who's been watching you, that is looking at you as a lifetime partner. Yeah. Someone who wants to give you, reciprocity. Also, you might want to Google 2444, see what that means, if it's anything specific in your life, because we do have those numbers here, 2444. It's all about balance, right? Being on the right path. Okay, so I'm going to go for now. I will go into the extended. If you want to come there, that's where I will be. And I will be back with a few more readings. I love you guys. I'm out. Bye-bye.